Hey Stampers, it's Judy Klock here, and today we're going to show you how to make this cute little holder for your multi-purpose liquid glue. I know that I like to have my glue upside down so that when I take it out, it's always ready to go. So we're going to learn how to make these today. So what we're going to need is we're going to need a piece of paper, a piece of cardstock that is 7.5 by 5.25. And we're going to score it in such a way that we're going to be able to make it into that little box. So I'm going to pull in my Simply Scored, and with the 7.5-inch length across the top, we're going to score it at 1 3/4, at 3.5, and at 5.25, and at 7. We're going to rotate it 90 degrees to the left, and we're going to score it at 1 3/4 and at 3.5. Okay, and that's it. I'm going to move my Simply Scored out of the way. I have here my silicone mat from when we're gluing so it doesn't get all over my table. So now I'm going to burnish all of the score lines with my bone folder. It's going to take a minute and do that, and then we're going to do some cutting. So there's not a lot that we can do in terms, no stamping involved. This is all just cutting and folding. Like we have to say CPA, cut, paste, and assemble. Okay, so now these two little like 1/2 inch by 1 3/4 inch spots, we're just going to cut those away completely. And I had my scissors here, they're there. Okay, so we're just going to cut these away completely. All right. And then we are going to, I just want to miter that little corner right here. Hang on one second. This is just not coming out. Okay, so I want to miter this corner just a little bit. And that's just going to make it slide into our box top easier. Okay, so we're going to cut all of those out. And again, I'm just going to miter this side just a bit. Now, for all these other ones, I'm going to cut from the edge of the paper up to that first score line. So I'm going to do it on each side. Okay, so we're cutting those 3 vertical score lines from the edge of the paper up to that first horizontal score line. Okay, then we're going to flip the paper around, and we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to cut from the edge of the paper up to that first vertical score line. Okay. Now let's add some DSP. So now if you notice on my sample box, it had DSP on 4 sides. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add DSP to the top just because I want my top to look pretty too. So I have 5 pieces of DSP. They are 1.5 inch squares. So we're going to put one there, one there, one there, one there, and one there. So it's not quite a T. We're like almost a T, but we're missing that middle section because that's going to be the bottom of our box. So I'm just going to take some Stampin' Seal and just go ahead and put these on. Okay. And I love silicone mats when you're working with adhesives because nothing sticks to it. It's wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. So this is a very quick little 3D project, but I think, if you use liquid glue at all, it's a great little tool to have on your desk to keep your glue, sort of at the top of the bottle at all times. So it's always ready and you're not, fussing with it half the time like I am. That little hair there. Get that hair off. Okay. Then one there. We only got 2 more pieces to put on. Okay. All right. Now, last piece of DSP. This is that pretty Hues of Happiness designer series paper from the annual catalog. Such a pretty paper. Okay. Now, before we do another thing, we need to cut a hole in this top middle section so that we can actually have somewhere for our Tombow bottle to stick out of. Don't do what I do on this one, and I forgot to cut the hole. Don't do that. Learn from my mistakes. So I'm going to bring up my Stampin' Cut and Emboss, and I need the big one because this is too wide to go through the mini. So we're going to take out the big one. Going to put my plate on there. Okay, fun fact, if you have the old magnetic plate, it will work in the Stamp, Cut, and Emboss. All right, I'm just going to line these up. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it to make sure that it's even in sort of in the middle of that piece. And this is the smallest die from the layering circle set. Right, I'm just going to go through and I'm just going to come back because I'm cutting through 2 layers. Right, let's move that out of our way. Okay. And now, there we go. Now we are ready. Now, if you want, you have that cute little circle. You can put that aside and use that for another project if you want. Oh my gosh, this chair is so squeaky. It sounds like Tales of the Crypt almost. Okay, so now we're going to lay it flat. These side flaps are going to come in and connect to each other. And then this middle flap is going to come up. And then these flaps will fold down at the very back. So first, I'm going to work on these 2 middle flaps. And for this, I recommend either tear and tape or liquid glue. Tear and tape works pretty well. So let's just try some tear and tape here. All right. I'm just going to go ahead and put all of my tear and tape on because that will make it go pretty quickly then. But again, if you like the liquid glue, go ahead and use the liquid glue. I'm going to use the liquid glue on the top to make sure it really stays closed. Okay, so I want to take these 2 off first. I'm going to peel that one off and peel that one off. Okay, so I'm going to bring these 2 together. Okay, now I'm going to take the tear and tape off this one. And I'm going to bring that up here. And I'm just going to put my box flat like that and really press hard so I can get those really securely adhered. Okay, same thing over here. I'm going to bring the 2 outside flaps in first. Okay, we're going to take that off. And then we're going to take this piece off. Come on. And then we're going to take this piece off. Okay. And same thing. I'm going to push this down on the table and just press really hard to make sure that it's securely attached. All right, now let's finish up. So this piece is going to get tucked in, and these 2 pieces are going to come over and create the last sides of our box. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue here and some liquid glue here. Okay. Oops, hold on. Okay, and there we go. And that is our little Tombow glue holder. And now your glue is always ready. All right, that's it. Thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope you'll make these little Tombow glue holders for your desk. Bye.